Most of us do not realize when the mask first slipped on. Maybe it was childhood. Maybe it was a workplace. Maybe it was a relationship where being easy felt safer than being real. But over time, the mask stops being a choice. It becomes a cage. And the exhaustion you feel, that is the metabolic cost of performing a life instead of living one. The price of the social mirror. Humans are wired for belonging. Your brain treats social exclusion like physical danger. So of course you learn to be agreeable, pleasant, predictable. Of course you learn to read the room before you read yourself. But in the digital age, the pressure to curate a persona has intensified. We are not just performing in social circles. We are performing for an invisible audience all the time. What began as politeness quietly becomes a mandatory performance, and slowly the performance replaces the person. The metabolic drain of constant performance. Here's the part no one talks about. Self-censorship is metabolically expensive. Your nervous system burns through energy every time you monitor your tone, your facial expressions, your opinions, your needs. Chronic people-pleasing keeps your body in a low-level stress response, never enough to collapse, but always enough to exhaust. And when you manage multiple versions of yourself for different environments, your brain becomes a full-time stage manager. No wonder you are tired. You are living a multi-character production with no intermission. The fracture of internal integrity. There is a moment, quiet, subtle, when the gap between who you are and who you pretend to be becomes unbearable. Psychologists call it self-alienation. You feel like you are floating outside your own life, watching yourself play a role you never auditioned for. The mask becomes a cage. And the deepest grief comes from realizing that people love the performance, not the person. You are liked but not known, included but not seen, present but not alive. The anatomy of curated compliance. People-pleasing is not random. It follows predictable scripts. Don't make anyone uncomfortable. Don't say no. Don't take up space. Don't disrupt the peace. But these scripts come with a cost, identity amnesia. You forget what you want. You forget what you like. You forget what your own voice sounds like without the filter of other people's expectations. Avoiding conflict gives temporary relief, but long-term resentment. You wake up one day, realizing you have built a life that does not even belong to you. Reclaiming the sovereign self. Reclaiming yourself is not about becoming confrontational. It is about becoming congruent. Start with radical honesty, not with others, but with yourself. Ask, where am I performing? Where am I shrinking? Where am I lying by omission? Then reintegrate the parts of you have exiled. Your preferences, your boundaries, your voice, your truth. Yes, there will be friction. People who benefited from your compliance may resist your authenticity, but that discomfort is the price of liberation. The liberation of being real. When you stop performing, something extraordinary happens. Your nervous system exhales. Your energy returns. Your relationships deepen. Your decisions align with your values instead of your fears. You trade superficial safety for internal sovereignty. You stop living for the social mirror and start living for your soul. If you feel chronically exhausted despite doing everything right, it is not because you are failing. It is because your mask is starving your spirit. Your life becomes whole the moment you choose integrity over approval. The moment you stop performing and start living.